This evening I'm doing a all cycles and options video of the Hotpoint 9530A Electronic 1000 Plus. So keep yourselves tuned in, watching HD, because you are watching Florence Ballard A3060, the channel made in loving memory of the original Supreme Florence Ballard and Hoover's first 1100 RPM washing machine, the A3060 Electronic 1100. Okay guys, welcome to this video, all cycles and options video of the April 1986 Hotpoint 9530A Electronic 1000 Plus automatic front-loading washing machine. So this brief explanation about this machine. It's from the April 1986 Proud Door next generation Hotpoint models. It's from the 95 series, hence why the number 9530. You have to excuse the Mila on the background doing a denim cycle. So what this is basically entailing, it's a brief demonstration and explanation for anyone that might have a machine. I don't know who's going to ever buy one of these machines now because they're pretty damn rare, but if anyone does want one who's a collector, isn't too sure how, or someone has one at home, maybe grandparents or someone has one, brought one second hand, you're not sure how to use it or you're worried about the programs, this is just a brief explanation of all the programs and the options, and also the options that what programs they can be used for. So this was your basic Hotpoint layout. Before 1986, instead of having these push buttons here though for the options, we had rocker switches, and that's what we called the new generations, which those models also had. Some of the top of the line models boasted a chrome door instead of a plastic. Well, it was plastic, but instead of a brown door. Some of the models had bronze doors as well, like the 95470 and whatnot, but this is from the 4-digit models. Models being included in the April 1986. The core models were the 9510, that's the Electronic 800 Plus, 9520 Electronic 800 Deluxe, then of course you got this one, the 9530 Electronic 1000 Plus, then you have 9540, which was the Electronic 1000 Deluxe with the spin slider, the vertical spin slider, and then that was the top of the line model in April. Then in June 1986 they brought out the 9551 Microtronic 1000 Deluxe, which was the push button microchip control machine, as well as August 1986 being the 9560 Microprofile 1300 Deluxe, which actually was a 1400 model. Excuse my phone there. That was the fastest machine. They beat Hoover to it by 7 years. And then of course the April 1988 range consisted of the 95X4 model, so like 9534, 9524. Then in also April 1986, the reason I said the core models, because there's also models ending in digits 1, 2 and 3, which were the exclusives as we call them. The 9511, 9511, the Electronic 800 Super, is the Curry's exclusive model. It was basically a 95450 remodeled. Then you also had the 9512 800 Electronic, which was a Rumbelows exclusive model. So you didn't have a 9513 in that era. I'm wrong. Then you had the 9531, which is the model above this, the one that I'm looking for, which was the Electronic 1000 Super with a horizontal spin slider. That was a Curry's exclusive model. But anyway, enough about the history. Let's get on with this. I'll put the meter on rinse hold so it won't go into spin while we're filming. Okay, so we'll start here. So we'll turn it all the way around to the woolen cycle. It has 3 sections on the dial. You've got the cotton section, the synthetics and acrylics and synthetics, and then you've got the woolen section. This section here, first one, pre-wash heavy soil. This machine is a hot and cold fill machine, can be converted to cold fill only, like the Mila, but I've got it on hot and cold, the way it would be back in the day. Pre-wash fills through the pre-wash compartment in the drawer, fills with cold water, heats up to 40 degrees. Duration is approximately 22 minutes, because that's cold. It's not an auto, it doesn't, unlike the Deluxe spin slider models, it doesn't have an auto pre-wash. So after the pre-wash, it will go to the distribute drain there, and it stops on the bow tie motive, which is also was rinse hold. With that, you can use economy wash, so it can do a cold pre-wash. Economy wash doesn't energise the heater, so I'm just going to drain here, but it's not spinning. You can use half load and economy wash on that, because your options here are rinse hold, half load, slow spin, and economy wash. Brief explanation of what they do. Rinse hold can only be used on the synthetic cycle. Synthetic cycles basically stops the machine before the final spin, holds clothes in rinse water. Half load, machine's got 2 water levels. Normally the machine fills up to about here. Half load fills just below the door seal. Slow spin, it reduces the spin speed from 1000 to 500 RPM. Only the deluxe 4-button models had that. The 9520 had that. It would do 800 down to 500. Economy wash, as I just explained, doesn't energise the heater, washes at the incoming water temperature. So if I run the tap here for about 3 minutes, hot water tap, the machine can fill up with water to about 55 degrees. Light up here, which the 9520 doesn't have, but the models 9530 and above have it, it's the rinse hole indicator. When the machine gets to the rinse hole section, that lights up. Also, the 9520 did not have the mains indicator light, neither did the 9510. 9530 and deluxe models did. Okay, let's continue with the programs. Program 1, 85 degrees Celsius white cotton. Now, Hotpoint aren't lying, it actually does wash at 85, although the service manual indicates it's 90 degrees. A lot of people ask me why did Hotpoint wash at 85, not 95? Because back in the day it was 95 all the time. To do with the Hotpoint's energy saving, I believe it was. I'm not too. Any Hotpoint experts who knew about the 95 series, do let me know what that was about. So this is 85 degrees Celsius, a boil wash, one of my most commonly used cycle. Duration of this now, there is no set duration for the program. It all depends on your incoming water temperature. Normally, if you do a cold fill only, it's probably going to be about 2 hours, because it has to heat up from stone cold. The laundry centre's got the exact same machine as me, so he would know, because his used to operate on cold. I don't know if he's ever used Program 1 on that, but I'll ask him if he has. If he sees this, do put in the comments, Chris, what was the duration of Program 1 on your machine, or the program durations for your machine when you use cold fill only. It normally is about an hour and a half on this when I do a load of towels, because I prime the hot water, I do, to about 60 degrees. Okay, the machine moves on. The sort in between is after every wash program there is a heating stage. Program 2, which is my most commonly used cycle. I use this every day for my work uniform. 60 degrees Celsius colour fast cotton. This is like your standard hot wash, hand hot temperature. So with all programs 1, 2 and 5, you can use every option aside from rinse hold. So you can use half load, slow spin and economy wash, because rinse hold is only for the synthetic cycle. So the basic thing about these machines is you don't have different programs for different options. And as I say there, moves on heating stage. Duration of that is, I've had it do that in 45 minutes if I prime the hot water enough. If I don't, it's about 50 minutes I'd say it does. Not very long at all. Main wash is about 20 minutes on that, but it washes very well. Program 5, 40 degrees Celsius non-colour fast cotton. This is a lot of people's famously used program on these machines. 40 degrees was a thing back in the day. I only ever use this for delicate shirts that I want to wash, that are cotton, but I don't want to put them through everything of mine goes on 60 pretty much, or 85 if it's bedding, towels, whites, or bath mats. But bath mats I put in with towels. This is duration approximately 45 minutes. I go by what it's taken my machine to do. I don't know what the actual duration is if it's cold fill. I'm leaving that to people who do operate these machines from cold fill. Then on these machines, rinse. The 9.5 series including the 1.8 series, I think also for the 9.7 and 9.9 series models. These do 4 rinses, each with a spin after the rinse. So, for example, you do each, so you have 4 rinses. I don't say deep level because they're all at the standard level of the machine, unless you press half load. So you first, second, third, fourth rinse is this, the conditioner symbol, if you see that on there. And then after that, it moves on, and that's long, fast spin. As you see there, they're highlighted red. If it's highlighted red, it means that you can use an option. So the option for that is slow spin, which can make it do 3 bursts at 500. Because what the machine, standard spin cycle procedure, the spin sequence is 2 short bursts at 500, each at 15 seconds. 1 minute distribute in between, or 1 minute 15 for the 953, like the 95X4 models, which is the April 1988 models, and then the finals shoot up to 1000 for 4 minutes. It does. The older 1.8 series did the spin in one go, so they would go up to 800 or 1000 immediately, which put more strain on the motor because the machine had to spin all the water out whilst trying to gain speed. That section in between there is the boost part. If I was to pull that out now, it would literally shoot right up to 1000 and then stop. Obviously this stops just a little bit over. Now we're onto the synthetic side. Program 3, she's 60 degrees Celsius white nylon. Meters on rinse hold, which is good. Now, this being a 60 cycle, it actually fills through both the hot and cold solenoids. Normally 60 degree only fills through the hot, but this fills through hot and cold. You can use all options with this cycle. Rinse hold can be used because it will stop at the end. Half load, slow spin, and economy wash. So you can wash whatever it comes in at, which will probably be about 45 if it's been cooled down by cold water. Program 4, I rarely use this side of the dial because the rinsing performance is very poor on this. Because I'll explain why. Program 4, 50 degrees Celsius colour synthetics. Although on some machines, mainly the exclusive models, this is listed down as 50 degrees Celsius colour fast synthetics. I've only seen it on the like the WD series from like the WD22 and whatnot. But it's been on a few of the exclusive models, mainly the 957 models and whatnot. Now, there's a bit of a heating stage in between. That's 50 degrees Celsius. I only use that cycle for stuff that I don't want to be washed at 60, and I don't want to obviously wash stuff at 40, so I'll put it in between. What I'll let it do, heat up to 50, and then I'll put it around to a cotton cycle and let it do all the rinse and spins on there. Program 6. Now, this is a double cycle because it's got 2 uses. It's listed down as 40 degrees Celsius acrylics and warm mixtures, but it's also on the 9534, it will say and quick wash. To enable quick wash, you have to press half load to reduce the water level and economy wash to disable the heater. It will go through that a lot quicker. Then over here, you have what we call the stepped cooldown or shuttle rinse, where the machine continuously fills and drains, gradually bringing the temperature of the water down. So if you've done a 60 degree white nylon or 50 degree synthetics, it's to prevent fabric shock, as going from hot water to... Mum's come in. Doing an all cycles and options video. Okay. I was putting everything in the sink. I got Domino's pizza here. So that'll wash up. Just getting Anyway, and then moving on. Now, on this cycle, it only does 3 rinses as opposed to 4. However, after the first rinse, the machine does not do a spin. It only spins between the second and third rinse, which is why the rinsing is very bad on this cycle. So it's why I tend to prefer not to use this part of the dial, unless I've got something that I don't really need to bother about the whip rinsing with. So you intermediate spin, 2 bursts at 500, conditioner rinse, and then the machine will stop here. If you select rinse hold, the machine stops on the bow tie motive. See there? It'll stop there, timer will buzz and that will light up. Disengage rinse hold, it will click on. Short spin, now in the manual it's listed as short slow spin. To enable it to be a slow spin, of course, you have to press slow spin because it does a 500 burst, but then afterwards it actually does a very short burst at 1000. So it will do, and obviously 800 RPM for the other models, for the 800 models. If not, you want to do a quick burst at 500 again. It's basically, yes, enable slow spin. It's basically an intermediate spin, but with the second burst being at 1000 rather than at 500. And then, of course, it stops as it... The machine doesn't do an anti-tangle. None of these models ever did that. It actually cuts off, as you've seen. As it gets to the end, it cuts off completely. Now then, program 7. This is 40 degrees Celsius machine washable wool. Now, what this cycle does, it's... so the duration of the synthetic cycles were about 45 minutes each, I'd say. Well, it does take slightly longer for program 3. Program 7 is about half an hour because mine fills with hot water. The main wash is only 15 minutes long, and the drum action on this is pretty much like this. Instead of going like that, it literally tumbles gently in one direction and then back the other way after about 30-second rest. Hotpoint called this the rockabye action. I used to think it was called the cradle action, but it's called the rockabye action. I never use program 7 if I've got a woolens load that's filled more than half the drum, because otherwise it doesn't wash in the detergent very well. I normally put it on program 5 then to do that. It's the same thing I do with the Miele. I never use the woolen cycle because that's really poor. And that's the wash action throughout the whole cycle, so through the rinses as well. 3 rinses as opposed to 4, but each of these with an intermediate spin. So after the first rinse and second rinse, she'll spin, unlike the synthetic cycle. Okay, and then we get to the conditioner rinses. So standard, like the like all the other rinses. Basically takes in the softener, opens the softener valve, lets the conditioner in. Now here is long fast spin. The woolen's final spin is exactly the same as the cotton cycle. 2 short bursts at 2 15-second bursts at 500, 1 minute distribute in between, and then the 4 minute ramp up to 1000 RPM. And then we stop. And of course, this machine is a pull-on, push-off. You pull it out to start the machine, push it in to stop. If you ever realise you need to switch the program, never turn it like that, because it can mess up the timer. Push it in, stop the machine, and then turn it to wherever. The layout is exactly the same for the washer-dryer models, like the 99. The washer-dryer version of this machine is the 9901 washer-dryer 1000 Deluxe. In the April 1986 range, they only released 2 washer-dryers. The 9901 being Hotpoint's second washer-dryer, and the 9920 washer-dryer 800 Plus being the third washer-dryer they ever made. The 9920 operated the same as the 9520, but the 9901 operated differently on the final spin. It did a pulse spin. If you see Candy Combi Lavatrice, or Lavatrice his name is, he's got a video of the 9901. In fact, he's the only one who's got a proper video of one of those. He demonstrates the final cotton spin. It does 500, 500, 500, and then it boosts up to 1000. And the difference with those models, they stop in between. Whereas this machine, after a burst, it will go back to distribute. Those machines actually stop, and they tumble, then they go back into distribute, I mean. A bit of a different layout. The atom symbol you see there meant 1900s electronic. A lot of people think it means aerial, because Hotpoint actually recommended Persol for their machines, hence why I always use Persol in this machine. Then they switched to aerial when the WMAs came out, I think it was. To aerial. I think that's when they changed to aerial. No. They switched to aerial when the WF range, so when the Maloney machines came out. But the 95X4 models do not have that, and they also have a different font on the program. If you ever look at a 9534, you'll see. Service Slimline's got an example of that machine. And so was, well, I know him as Hotpoint King, but I can't remember, is it Mr. S 1990s domestic? His name's Sean. Lovely guy. He owned a 9536 and he's got a 9534. Also as well, the model name was in block capitals for the 9534, as well as the model number being in a different font. The thing I don't like is you can't really see the model number, so you can just see it there, 9530. The difference also being as well, the line across the top you see there, that decoration, when it would come to the time of the 9534, it would dip slightly, and it would go stop there, where the pointer is, and go back up. It's a bit more different. So guys, the reason I did this video, because I've been meaning to do it for a while, machine is due to be going into storage, presumably next week. Now, we are going to be cancelling my payment to the self-storage because it is a lot of money. We're clearing out my shed and hopefully moving the machines in there. Can put 2 machines in there, 2 or 3, and I have got something coming, which I've just found today. I'm not going to say what it is, of course. You'll be quite surprised to see what it is, though. Some meters on rinse hold there. The machine's not going to. It's just going to retirement for a bit, and it should be brought out later on. Because Mum being here, you might be thinking, where the hell has the Hoover gone? I'll show you what happened to the Hoover, it's quite funny. So, I may have a very weird taste in furniture, but look what's being used as the desk. There's the A3060 there for you. She's got a blanket over her, she's quite happy there. Struggle to bring in though, I had to bring her to the door and drain out all the water from her. And then you've got these 2 out here, they're going into storage too. You know, this machine's been very good to me. We've got 1 more wash video. We're going to do that heavy throw in this machine. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. And I hope you've enjoyed this little short video. I've got to give a shout out to someone else. Mila Touchtronic Deluxe. I really have to give a shout out to you because you're filming a Mila W Classic for me. I think it's the WDA110 he's filming. But he's told me today he's been filming and doing a shout out for me. I want to wish him the best of luck, you know, with his channel. All you washer guys, I want to give you all the best of luck, you know, and I want to thank you for all the support with me. I know I'm a lot to put up with sometimes with my changing of machines on my rules about, or I'm not giving away this, but you know why, guys? I do it to keep you guys waiting, you know, because I want you guys to anticipate what's coming. That's why, you know, when I didn't tell you I found the Hoover, I kept you guessing. That's why I did a quick shot like that, so you would see it out in there. So you might be thinking the Mila's been plumbed back in. What happened was, Mum came around and she wasn't particularly happy. I knew she wasn't going to be happy about the Mila being pulled out, because it meant she doesn't have a machine. It's better that we have a machine in this house that can take the daily drive loads, because otherwise I'm stressing my machines out. So I try to keep Barbara, as I call her, Barbara, Millie and Florence we got, and I will continue to name all the machines. And then as a matter of fact, someone else I want to give a shout out to, Hotpoint Guy 1600, is like a bloody brother to me, because he does exactly the same with his machines. They're all named after men, but you know what, he's got a couple of ladies in his collection actually. But I should hopefully be going to see him maybe. I don't know when, hopefully this year at some point, but definitely. We've got a lot to look forward to, guys. Next week on Tuesday is my 21st birthday. Taking the day off work, as I think I've mentioned. So yeah, looking forward to that. You guys, we'll wrap that one up there then of this fabulous machine. I can maybe just... It's not the end of her, but... It was meant to go up faster, but... I do that for you guys. I'll let the Mila get on. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching, and don't forget, keep it supreme and go with the flow.